Welcome back. So we're into the second part of our online rehearsal now, and what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at some sight singing. So make sure that you've got your book ready. Last time we just looked at the first page. So today I want us to go through the next 2 pages in this rehearsal. So if you have a look at the top of the second page, we've got a number 3 there. And it's telling you that a note can either be written on a line or a space, which we know already. And it says every note on the bottom space, on the clef, whether it's a treble clef, or if you're reading in the bass clef, if it's on the same space, it'll have the same pitch. It'll sound the same. Okay? And wherever it is in the song, it'll still have the same pitch. Okay. The only time you'll see a change is if you have a sharp or a flat suddenly thrown in, or a natural sign. But we're going to keep things simple for now. Okay. So we've learnt about do and so in the previous week, and if we have a look at those 2 examples there just underneath the yellow box, they're showing us 2 different keys. Okay, so the first example, we've got do on an F, which sounds like this. Do. So if that's do, see if you can sing so. Good. Let me just sing it for you just to be sure. And you might have it already in your head because that was our vocal warm-up, singing from do to so. So it would be do, so. Okay? So the tonic is our root note, it's our key note, and the dominant, which is so, is the note that is quite far away. Okay, it's literally 5 notes away from the tonic, or from do. So if you have a look at the next example, you've got a different do, okay, because we're in a different key. So remember what I said last time, do is the key note. It's the root note of the key that you're singing in. And of course, some songs are in different keys to others. It would be very boring if it was all in the same key, and it certainly would make things difficult for different instruments and singers. So the next example, our do is starting on G, and this is what it sounds like. Do. Okay, so you can see or hear that it's actually stepped up a little bit higher. So you try and sing do so in the new key. So I'll give you do, do. Okay, did it sound like this? Do, so. Okay, if you're a lower voice, do, so. The gap is always the same though. The gap is always the same. That's why these hand signs help, because our ears are learning the distance between the notes. Okay, let's have a look at exercise 3. So we're going to just look at the first line, and it's starting on so. Okay? Because it's in the same key as the second exercise or second example above, and we know that that note now in that key is so. All right, so we have to think about the rests. Okay, so be aware of that. I'm going to sign it, you're going to come straight in and sing it. I will give you do. Ready? 3, 4. Okay, let's sing it together. If that's do, then that's so. Okay, ready? 3, 4. So, so, do, do, so. So, so, do, so. Okay, good. Let's look at the next line. And this time we're starting on do, so that makes it a little bit easier. All right, so there's do, if you're a lower voice. Okay, and let's have a go at the second line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, let's sing it together. There's do. Ready? And do, do, so, do, 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 so, do. Excellent. Right. Okay, so just like we did last time, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sing the whole thing through without any stops. And as I sing the first line, if you are as I sing the first line, I want all of you to sing the second line, and as I sing the second line, I want all of you to sing the first line. Okay, so so you're going to start with the second line and then go back and sing the first line. Are you ready? I'm not going to sign now because that'll confuse you. There's your do, there's your so. 3, 4. So, so, do, do, so. So, so, do, so. Next line, and so, do, do. So, so, do, do, do. So, do. How was that? Right. Just go back and keep practicing if you want to. I'm not going to do this over and over here. Okay, very quickly they talk about tempo, which means speed. Again, it's a term you should be familiar with. And it depends on what you're singing, what mood you're trying to create, as to what tempo you use. But the music still sounds the same. It doesn't affect actually the pitch of the notes at all. All it affects is the mood really of the piece of music, and of course the rhythm either slows down with the piece or speeds up with the piece. Okay, so let's have a look at the next page. They're talking about eighth notes, which again we know as quavers. So remember I said before, this is an American book and they use the terminology eighth notes and quarter notes and so on, but an eighth note is a quaver. Okay, and 2 of those equal 1 beat or 1 crotchet. That's usually what we count in. Okay, there are cases when we don't count in crotchets, but that's usually the case. Okay, and they're showing you how they are joined together, and we call that a beam when we see those quavers, 2 quavers joined together with that line at the top. Okay, so you can practice that rhythm on your own. I'm sure you can manage that, but if you have a really strong sense of the crotchet beat, you can have a go with that. So if you look at the next exercise, which is the one we're going to finish with today, we're back in the key where we were before. If you go look at just before exercise 3, the first do-so example started on F. Okay, and so does this piece. It's the same key. It's got a B flat and the key signature at the beginning. Okay, we're in the key of F major. So this is what our do sounds like now. Do. Okay. So this is do, do. And now we're not only thinking about the notes on each and counting rests, but we're also looking at the rhythm. Okay. So I'm just going to sing that very first line for you. So have a listen. Do, 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 do. Okay? You try it? Okay, right. And if we go on to the next line, you can see we've got that sneaky time signature change coming in again. But don't worry about it, because as long as we've got that even crotchet beat rhythm throughout, we'll be fine. Okay, so let's have a go at singing the second line of the piece, the top line on the second line of the piece. Okay, so essentially it's bar 3. There's your do, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's look at the last line of the piece. So this is bar 6. It's getting a little bit quicker with those quavers. Okay, but our beat stays the same. Okay, let's try it. 3, 4. Oh no, it's in 3, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was a bit tricky. Okay, let's try and sing all together through that whole of the first line, starting at the top with do. I'm not bothering with the words in case you hadn't noticed. Not at this point. Let's just concentrate on singing do's and so's. There's your do. 2, 3, 4. Do, 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 so, do, so, do, do, so, do, do, so, do, so, do, so, do, 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 so, do, do. Okay, definitely accelerates in terms of its level of difficulty as you work towards the end of that little exercise. Okay, let's look at the second line now, and we'll do exactly the same thing. So this time, let's try and sing it all the way through. We've got crotchets to begin with, and then we've got a few quavers on the second line, and again in the last line. But this time we're reading the second part. Okay, there's your do. 2, 3, 4. Okay, right. Let's try and sing all of that through together. Okay, just the second part. There's your do. 2, 3, 4. Do, so, do, so, do, 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 so, do, so, do, so, do, do, so, do, so, do, do. Okay, right. This time I'm going to sing the second part while you sing the first part, and then we'll swap around. So you basically are going to sing the whole thing, part 1, and then go back and sing part 2. All right? And I'll sing the alternate parts both times. But we both start on do. Okay. Here we go. You're part 1. 2, 3, 4. Do, so, do, so, do, 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 so, do, so, do, so, do, do, so, do, so, do, do. Swap around. Do, 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 so, do, so, do, do, so, do, do, so, do, so, do, so, do, 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 so, do, do. Well done. All right, okay, and just to finish off at the end there, they're just talking about bar lines, which again is a term we're familiar with. They use the word measure in here, but again, that's an American word for a bar, okay? So we talk about bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, whatever. They talk about the first, second, third measure, but it's the same thing, okay? So we'll leave it there for now. That's quite enough of that, but go back and practice during the course of the week. It's really good. The more you sing using this tonic solfa method, the more you're training your ear, and that's really, really important when you're singing in a choir, so that you can tune in to one another, and make sure that your intonation is just right when you're singing. So well done. We're going to move on now to our piece, Touch the Sky.